What is up, YouTube? Today I'm doing another video with the Thralls of Metal. We got Necrotic Nick and Jam and John with us again. If you guys want to say hi, you can.
Hi,
What's up,
you
guys?
can.
How you guys doing? People out there in YouTube land.
Hi, people. I don't know if I like my blur now. I don't know if I like this blur in the back. I tried to say hi and it looked stupid. I don't know.
Your hands
I told you, like,
disappearing.
half your head will disappear.
Look like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
This was an experiment, and it failed.
And it failed.
I wonder what happens.
It's good. Okay. Well,
We'll tell you
okay, so before I talk about our subject today, I want to show some things off. I went to a record store today. I should have made a separate video, but I didn't find the time to, so I'm just going to show them off here. I got 3 by the same band, and then I got 6 by the same band.
Nice.
So first off,
man.
these 3 are by Megadeth. I got Peace Cells, remixed,
Yes.
mastered, used version of Countdown to Extinction,
Beautiful.
and Dystopia.
Oh, dude, the solid.
Nice.
You got 3 solid
Nice.
albums.
Yeah, you
Yes.
got 3 really killer albums.
And these 6 are by the same band. This is pretty much almost all their discography except one, but I got Death, The Sound of Perseverance.
Oh, dude.
Individual Thought Patterns.
That's my favorite of the tech era.
Human.
Yep, that's mine.
Spiritual Healing.
Amazing.
Leprosy, your favorite.
Oh, the best.
Oh man, the hours I've spent jamming that album.
And Scream Bloody Gore. They didn't have my favorite one, Symbolic. They didn't have that one. That's my favorite.
So, see, Symbolic, I like all their albums. Death has an incredible discography, and there's a reason why all those bands love to just kind of take little nuggets of Death in all their work.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for Leprosy. That is the blueprint for death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love that.
Every band is borrowed from that one.
I want to go to your record store, Lucas. If you're able to find a bunch of Megadeth and a bunch of Death in one store.
Yeah, and these are brand new too, except for Countdown to Extinction. But the Death ones, they are 2-disc reissues. So they also come with like rehearsal recordings, like of them rehearsing. On Spiritual Healing, they cover Primus, which I thought was kind of weird but kind of cool. It's called Primus Jam.
See, I have actually the ones that you picked up for, I think all the for Scream Bloody Gore, Leprosy, Individual Thought Patterns, and Human.
Yeah.
Those are all the Relapse reissues, I believe.
Yes, they are all Relapse, but these 2, Human and Individual Thought Patterns, they come in these slip cases.
Yep, that's the same edition I have. Lots of cool stuff on those, man.
I love all these albums, especially this one. It's one of my favorites, this Individual Thought Patterns. The Philosopher was the first Death song I ever heard, and it's a great song. I always love that opening sweep pick, and then I just love the riff.
Oh, dude, I mean, that whole, I love Gene Hoglan's drum work on it. There were few, I think, that could have replaced Sean Reinhart, and it was a short list, and it was Gene Hoglan.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, on to our subject today. Today's going to be our favorite non-hard rock, non-metal artists, bands, albums, songs, genres, whatever. Just rules are it cannot be in the range of hard rock or metal. So
okay. All right. Well,
and I'm gonna let so we're gonna go with Nick, then John, and then myself.
Well, being the giant 80s pop fan I am, I'm definitely gonna name drop a lot of 80s pop and kind of like dark synth stuff. I'm going to start off with one I just brought up in a collection update, Depeche Mode. I adore Depeche Mode. I've been listening to them since I was a kid. I think Violator is a damn near perfect album. Granted, that's not 80s, that's 1990. But, I mean, they're incredible. They inspired probably a lot of the whole dark wave goth stuff.
Oh, definitely.
They're incredible songwriters. Their production's almost always top notch. And they're still going. Their last album, and actually, no, there's the one before the last album, Delta Machine, absolutely brilliant. It was dark. It was heavy in its own regard, like with just the dark synths and just the moody atmosphere. They're brilliant. We're just doing one apiece, or are we going back and forth?
We're just gonna go back and forth, you know.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Noon, go ahead, take it.
All right. Well, first of all, does this look better? I think this looks better.
That looks better.
Not disappearing. Still got to get some metal shit on the walls. It kind of makes me look poserish, I think. Except I'm not. But it's not important. Oh, let's see. So So it's gonna be non-rock too, or
Oh no, anything that's not hard rock or metal. So anything that's softer than hard rock and metal. So like it could be like anything from pop to maybe alternative rock, maybe a little bit of grunge,
Right on.
just stuff like that, pretty much.
All right. Where do we go first?
I went with Depeche Mode, so
I know you did. I heard you.
It can also be genres as a whole. You can also just name a genre as a whole and name some of your favorites from that genre.
I mean, all right, we'll go not rock and roll at all. I am a gigantic hip hop fan.
Okay. Hold on.
Tribe Called Quest, Cypress Hill. Goodbye, Lucas.
I got a couple of hip hop. I could show you. I'm just gonna show two that I have.
The House of Pain, man.
Dude, I still have that album.
Dude, I have all the House of Pain albums.
Yeah.
I still have them on my phone.
Yeah.
I may have jammed them somewhat recently.
Are you familiar with these albums?
Oh yeah, the Chronic.
Dr. Dre 2001 and then Dirty Dozen World. These are the first two I saw. They were on the same row, so I just got them.
Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. You know that, right?
Still Dre.
See, I had a bunch of hip hop, but it was all on cassette, and I had like Eazy-E's last album, the one with "Give Me That Nut."
Oh yeah, dude, that's one of my favorites. Dude, that pounds in the car.
I still have Funk Dubious, Which Doobie You Be. I still really enjoy that album too.
I enjoy like NWA and Cypress Hill, Public Enemy. What introduced me to Public Enemy was the Anthrax song they did. I think it was Bring the Noise. I think. Yep. And that's how. And I'm like, who's Public Enemy? I mean, like, why is a hip hop group forming with a thrash band? And then I'm like, okay, this stuff is pretty good,
I remember seeing that on MTV when I was a kid, and yeah, it was weird because I already knew who Public Enemy was. I didn't know who Anthrax was. And I just pretty much watched it. I was like, wow, a little bald dude can rap. He's pretty good. And he plays guitar too. What the hell is this band? Yep. And then I discovered Anthrax and I was like, holy shit, this band's awesome.
That little bald dude can rap.
Oh,
that was it.
Oh, you're talking about Scotty, and I was so confused.
Scotty, and yeah. No, I mean, dude, Chuck D wasn't little, and I don't know if Flavor Flav was bald, but I don't know if he can.
Flavor Flav. Okay, that's a pretty interesting right there. I'm a fan of hip hop at least up until the early 2000s. After that, it's kind of just garbage. Like especially modern day, it's sad. Especially like Lil Nas X and all that crap.
I still have never heard that guy.
Honestly, I just know who he is because of like his appearance. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really dive into the music. And,
he did a music video that caused a little bit of controversy recently, where he dresses up as like a female stripper and then he gives a lap dance to Satan and then kills Satan. It's called like "Give Me or I think it was like "Call Me by Your Name" or something like that. I didn't like it. His auto-tune voice though is not that good.
See, I hate auto-tuning anyway. If you can't sing, then don't.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I like some of it, like Ozzy, whenever he had to use it. He kind of sounded definitely better than most auto-tune I've heard whenever he did it for Ordinary Man.
But I mean, he could sing. He could sing. I can't cast anything on Lil Nas X because I don't know him. I just know him by his image, and it's a wild image.
Just modern rap in general. Like I'm not a fan of modern rap. There's like because it's all like the same thing, They're either shooting, they're a gang, they're shooting up, they're banging chicks, like and not in like the rock, not in the heavy.
They did that in the 80s and the 90s too. It was still that lyrical content. However, they had additional lyrical content beyond that.
Nowadays, that's all it's about. I mean, there's maybe some comedy bands that talk about that stuff, but they do it for primary use of comedy, like Psycho Stick or something like that.
It's all very like surface level. That's what I get out of it. I mean, I can't really say much in terms of like metal lyrics because we generally talk about the same tropes, and unless you're saying with Sugabog, then you talk about some really, really different things.
Definitely. Okay. Okay, that was interesting. My choice is a very good choice. I recently kind of dropped out of this genre, but I just got back into it again. I'm a huge punk fan. I am a huge punk fan. I love the Ramones, the Dead Kennedys, Black Flag. Have you guys ever heard of the Dicks before?
I mean, Nick is one.
Yeah, they only made like 2 albums, but their singer is like a pretty good punk singer. I think his name's Gary Floyd or something like that.
I don't know if I'm familiar with the Dicks. I definitely know the Circle Jerks, but
yeah, and then there's them too. But then there's like
they should tour together.
Yeah,
the Dicks and the Circle Jerks.
And then there's like there's like the Spits, and then there's a modern one called the Toy Dolls, I think.
Toy Dolls. No, in terms of like modern punk bands, like most of the punk I think out is more crust punk, and that's a little bit more on the metal spectrum. It's grind and D beat,
so like Discharge almost.
But Cerebral Ballsy, that's a real band. Actually, they were on Adult Swim's record label, and pretty much they just worshipped at the throne of Black Flag. Like it literally sounds like stuff you'd hear on Damaged.
I love the name.
Yep, I have 2 of their albums, and it sounds like it was recorded in the 80s, like in a basement by a bunch of punk kids on a fucking tape deck.
Yeah. I'm also a fan of like Bad Religion and Pennywise, especially.
I own all their albums, both of those bands. I adore Bad Religion. Greg Gaffin, I think, is one of the best lyricists out there and singers. And
yeah, I mean, some people, a lot of people do realize, but Bad Religion's lyrical content is very like, it can either be political, it can be other stuff too.
It's reflections of society.
Pretty much, yeah. So I mean, they have a meaning to their lyrics, and their name has a meaning. Because I mean, Greg Gaffin, he's an atheist, so and he's against religion, pretty much. Okay, I don't want to get into all that stuff, but
he's also a history teacher too. Like he goes over a wide array of different things. I think the album "Suffer" is essential listening for any punk fan. That is,
and Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction is pretty good. I mean, that has 21st Century Digital Boy. That was probably their biggest charting single.
Yeah, or it was either that or Infected.
Yeah, well, 21st Century Digital Boy was actually like a re-recording from an earlier album, and they decided to kind of slow it down a step and make it more accessible for 90s kids.
Yeah. And then there's other punk bands out there that I can't remember. I do know, but I can't think of their names. But I'm just a huge fan of punk, and the same goes for some pop punk, just some. Like like Green Day, their early stuff is like punk. Like like Dookie. Like I love Dookie and all that. And like John said in the last video we did, whenever we mentioned Green Day, I up until American Idiot, that was like kind of like their golden age up until American Idiot. After that, they had like at least 2 good albums after that, out of like the maybe 6 that they released after that. Like I liked 21st Century Breakdown, then Revolution Radio was good, but their last album was trash, absolute trash.
I kind of lost touch with all things Green Day probably around like after Nimrod dropped.
Yeah,
that was about it. Like I liked Hitching a Ride, but it wasn't enough for me to buy the album.
Yeah,
but, it was a band that was on the radio, and I knew my mom really liked them because she got the one with that Minority song on it, which I wasn't a huge fan of.
American Idiot?
No, the I wanna be a minority.
Yeah.
No, American Idiot.
I don't know.
Yeah. And one of my favorite pop punk bands is definitely Yellow Card. I like Yellow Card. Ocean Avenue, I think is not the most solid album, but for what it is, it's actually a pretty good album for like what it is. It's not whiny, really. It's not like like all that teen, like for example, Blink-182. I don't like Blink-182. I own a couple of their albums. I maybe like 2 of their albums, and that's Animal of the State, and I hate All the Small Things. I hate that song greatly.
I mean, I used to love that video just because it was so stupid.
It was so stupid. Is it more stupid than What's My Age Again music video where they run around in public naked?
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of equal parts.
Yeah, they're kind of stupid. And then they did a song where they literally say just a bunch of cuss words. I think it was called Family Reunion. I think it's like it's like literally like a 58-second song of them just saying like cuss words and all that.
Oh man, they're trying to steal anal cunts.
Exactly.
For me, like pop punk didn't appeal to me that much. My sister had Dude Ranch by Blink.
Well,
thought it was okay. It had a little bit of the skate punk, like when it came down to punk, I liked pretty much like either the old stuff.
Yeah, the old stuff is the best punk.
Or like the 90s skate punk bands, like, you know, Pennywise, Lagwagon.
Yeah.
And I like some of the ska bands too. Ska's another thing I actually really enjoy.
Ska punk. I love ska punk, like Sublime and all that.
Sublime was like the one that I heard way too much, and granted I own them and I do like them. I just got tired of hearing them because everyone was like, "Oh man, play that Lovin' song." Like, dude, if I hear it again, I'm gonna choke someone.
Santeria is an okay song, but I think it's a little bit overplayed.
See, I liked hearing like Same in the End.
I prefer Garden Grove. That's probably like my favorite Sublime song.
But like Less Than Jake was a lot of fun, and occasionally they'd pepper in some like more metal riffs because they enjoyed that stuff.
Yeah. I'd say
Propaganda, granted they're not ska, but I mean in terms of forward thinking punk that gets outside of the 4-chord stuff, those guys like to include like rock riffs, metal riffs, and you know, of course, a fiercely political nature that's just kind of them. But you know, the songwriting is top notch. Their last album was incredible. God, what was it called? It was the one with the that ripped up roller coaster. It was on the East Coast. It was on the pier after one of the storms came through and ripped it apart. But oh man, just great stuff. That is definitely a punk band worth checking out.
Yeah, one of the better and one last pop punk band I'll talk about, Sum 41. They really they've never been whiny that much. Like some of their, I mean, kind of angsty. So I wouldn't really consider them pop punk really, but they have some poppy nature. But mostly it's kind of just like old punk, but in like a modern age, and it sounds like it's like more riffy kind of. Like they have some pretty good riffs.
They're metalheads too. They like metal. And
I mean, in their music videos, like for Fat Lip, for example, one of them was wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. One of them was wearing a Megadeth shirt. Yeah, they're huge metalheads. They say that without metal, they wouldn't be there. But the reason they said that they were going to be a metal band at first, but they wanted to find a sound that would fit in with like people the most. And you know, they didn't want to go. They said that they didn't want to go with hip hop or pop. So that they decided to be a punk band or something like that, and it worked out well. They were popular. They had a lot of hits, and they're still going today.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are in there anymore. I don't know if they're all in there. I know the one
the same members. I'm pretty sure have all been it's been all the same members except for one. Like I think one got replaced, but then all of them have been the same. Like they had the same 2 guitars, the same bassist, the same vocalist.
The one guitarist actually, he did his own little like stoner metal band called Brown Brigade, and they were actually pretty good. But outside of that, I think it was mostly Derek Wembley, which I guess he went through like a lot of like medical issues too. But yeah, I haven't really listened to him. Like I think the last one I picked up was Chuck.
Didn't that? I think that had Chuck. Wait, Chuck. That's a single, I think.
No, that was the full album. That was the name of the album.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of. For some reason I'm thinking of Does This Look Infected? Never mind.
Yeah, that was the one before it.
Yeah,
that one actually had a couple of big singles on it, but
yeah.
After that, I guess kind of
Well, their latest album in 2019 is actually pretty good. Like it has I forgot what the name of the friggin' album is called. But my friend got the vinyl of it, and it's like a fiery orange and yellow kind of, and it looks pretty dope. And the album is actually not too bad. It's probably their second best to in my opinion. I still enjoy All Killer No Filler. I mean, is the name of the album fit? There's a couple songs that are filler on there, but
yeah, there's filler. I mean, I have it too. I haven't listened to it in forever. I bought it just because I think my rationale was if I play Fat Lip over and over and over again to the point I'm sick of it, it won't get stuck in my head anymore.
Yeah, In Too Deep was like their biggest.
Did that work?
No, because now that he brought up Zone 41, I could hear it in my damn head. That whole
I don't want to waste my
name is El Nino.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I'm a huge fan of punk and some pop punk. But yeah, that's my pick for that one.
Right on.
Well, I mean, all right, this one I guess it kind of fits in 80s pop, but also in, I guess we call it Blue Eyed Soul, Hall & Oates. Hall & Oates. I absolutely love those two. One of the best songwriting tandems, actually 70s and 80s. And God, my mom used to jam the hell out of them. So, I mean, I really didn't have any way around them. They were on MTV constantly. Their videos were always there. Private Eyes, of course, that one had a great video for it. Out of Touch, which, God, that might be one of my favorite songs by them. But yeah, I mean, those guys were killer. Dude, Daryl Hall has still an incredible voice. God, that guy can croon. But
wasn't Hall & Oates, wasn't that one of the freebies when you got those the settlement from Ticketmaster?
Yeah, because Ticketmaster was overcharging people, and there was a settlement. And since we were buying tickets off of Live Nation, it came back to me. I was like, "Well, you get some free tickets," and it was a toss up. It was either Gojira with Tesseract or Hall & Oates, and believe me, I almost thought about going for Hall & Oates because I love Hall & Oates. Yeah. But I mean, we went with Gojira.
Right,
Gojira was awesome.
That was, I remember when you brought that up, because that was really hard. I was like, man, I wanted to go see Gojira, but man, wouldn't it be cool to go see Hall & Oates?
Dude, I would sing along with every song. I know so many damn Hall & Oates songs.
Yeah, okay, that's a pretty interesting one. I like Hall & Oates.
It's, that actually they were probably the ones that popularized the term blue-eyed soul.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. John, what's yours?
Well,
or your next one, I meant.
Yep. Dude, Silverchair.
Dude,
Frog Stomp.
I have it on
because to be honest, I never really dug too much of the album after that, but Frog Stomp.
Frog Stomp's awesome, dude.
I love Frog Stomp.
Ooh.
I mean, I like Freaks. Freaks is a really good album too. The follow-up, I think it's really good. It's after that where it starts to get way too radio rockish.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Silverchair underrated. They're when they finally decided to come back, I think after that long hiatus after Diorama, they came back as pretty much Australian U2, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Right? No.
God.
No.
I'm just gonna
remember Pure Massacre? Go back.
I hate U2.
Dude, Israel's Son, killer song. What's the like kind of metal instrumental on there? I can't remember what it is.
Oh man,
I can't remember either. I'm trying to think because I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
It's heavy. I mean, it's
find the name. Hold on.
Big groovy, like kind of like a D beat to it. Oh, I mean, I could look it up right now. Shit, hold on.
Time lapse.
Silverchair, Frog Stomp. I think it's Madman.
Yes.
Madman. That is it.
No, I'm thinking. Now that you said that, I'm like, yeah. Again, I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of Silverchair, but I do like Frog Stomp though.
It's a killer album. I mean, there's moments on other albums too, for sure. Like, I mean, even Neon Ballroom has that re-recording of Spawn Again, the song from the Spawn soundtrack, and that might be one of the heaviest songs they ever wrote. Like, and it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb on that album because the rest of it is a little bit more feely, like Anna's Fire, or Open Fire, whatever the hell that's.
That's why I didn't like that record. It lost the grit, dude.
It's like, you're Australian. Come on, everything's trying to murder you at all times. You're all your animals. You should.
A bunch of music from Australia now. It should have been like that.
All right, well, that was interesting. My pick is gonna make me lose a lot of subscribers.
There you go.
But I'm gonna go with musicals. I'm a huge fan of musicals.
Cannibal the Musical.
No.
You ever seen Cannibal the Musical?
Okay, here's the thing. So in school, I'm in choir. Believe it or not, that's something I'm kind of ashamed to admit, but at the same time,
man, I was in choir. Don't be fucking ashamed, bud.
But it's not just choir.
It's
It's advanced choir, not just choir. It's advanced. But I'm a huge fan of musicals. Some of my favorites, I would say, are Sweeney Todd, Rock of Ages. Believe it or not, I love the SpongeBob musical on Broadway. It's actually pretty good. Like the dancing and the choreo is spot on. And what's funny is that the character and costume designs are some of the best, because for Plankton, So they don't give the dude like a helmet for just like one eye. They give him an eye patch, so that only one eye shows.
That's improvising.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny, but it's kind of clever too. And then for Mr. Krabs, they only give him crab claw boxing gloves and a blue shirt and jeans, and that's it. But other musicals, again, Sweeney Todd is definitely probably in my top 3.
I love Sweeney Todd.
And there's more
I own it on
versions than the
Blu-ray.
Johnny Depp version. I love more than just the Johnny Depp version.
Yeah.
I love the 1979
Yep.
version. I love, but Sweeney Todd, it was a tale before it was a musical. It was a tale of just pretty much what everyone knows. He was a barber who basically an evil judge, like pretty much wanted to take over his wife, so he sent him like away, and then
his wife was good looking.
But then what he did was heinous. He pretty much raped her in public in front of a bunch of people, and then he comes back.
That's what
for
you
revenge.
should do.
He comes back for revenge, but then eventually he takes his revenge out on anyone who comes into his barbershop. Like any guy who's gonna get shaved or something like that, just kills him. And basically,
now I know what I have to watch that tonight. I have to after I get off this podcast. I have to watch that.
Well, I don't know what app it's on, but it's on. It used to be on Netflix, but I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore.
I own it.
You own it?
Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay. Then solves that. But obviously, it's the most famous version of Sweeney Todd. But again, there's more versions. There's the 1979 version, which is probably the second most famous version. But again, there's other musicals I love too. I love Chicago. Annie is kind of a
yeah, you're really close to Chicago. You're supposed to love Chicago.
Actually, yeah. Probably about the same distance as we are from Chicago, I think.
Well, I live in Benton, and then Chicago is probably about 7 or 8 hours away from me.
Oh, then just kidding.
Actually,
I thought for some reason I thought you guys were closer to Chicago.
By car, it would take that. But if we were to go by train or something like that, because we actually have train, we have a passenger train.
Dude, I want to go by train. I'm gonna travel.
Very rare do you find passenger trains nowadays, but we have one in Carbondale, which is about 45 minutes away from me.
There's an Amtrak station in Toledo here, right?
Yeah, I went to Chicago on a train courtesy of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was one musical I do like.
What?
One musical, The Blues Brothers. It's also
I love the Blues Brothers.
But every song in there is golden.
Not just musical, but musical movies too.
Yes.
They could either be based off of musicals or stage shows, or they could just be their own thing. Like, I mean, but then there's ones I really don't like. Like there's La La Land, which I don't like that much.
I generally avoid musicals. Like
I'm just a big fan of musicals because I've been shown them a lot. Like I've watched tons of movie musicals because of I've been in choir ever since I was probably about early middle school. So I watched a ton of them. I watched, Wizard of Oz that everyone's seen a million times and never gets old. But then there's, there's another one. Beetlejuice has a musical, which is actually pretty good. And then
there was a lot of singing in Beetlejuice anyway.
Then you can't forget about Rocky Horror.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rocky Horror specifically, Rocky Horror almost defines cult cinema.
I mean, seriously, it's the only movie to have. It's the only movie to have 4 re-releases in theaters. It got re-released to theaters in 85, 95, 05, and 2015. It's literally the only movie that's been re-released that many times, is what the Library of Congress says.
I've actually done the whole Rocky night where they have everyone making fun of the movie and yelling lines, throwing toast whenever there's a toast. I mean, it's a riot. It's one of those things you got to experience. I don't know how many theaters still do that. Well, I mean, I don't know about now, courtesy of COVID, but
yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, the most famous version is the picture show, obviously from '75, the movie. But I mean, obviously, people would love to go see an actual stage show, and you can't forget Tim Curry being a transvestite. You cannot forget that.
Oh, Tim Curry is a national treasure, and I was bummed when I heard he suffered a massive stroke.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's one of the most eclectic actors I've had the privilege of watching his films over the years. He's incredible. I mean, hell, he was one of the coolest devils I've ever seen.
That's right. He was in Legend. That's right. Yep. He was the devil in Legend. He was also in Home Alone 2 as the hotel guy.
Yep, I just watched that recently, and also he's in Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes, I forgot about that. I love Muppet Treasure Island.
So do I.
I don't know if I love it as much as Christmas Carol though, because I watch Christmas Carol every year.
Dude, I have the Muppets tattooed on my back.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't bet him.
Oh my gosh. But you know, other musicals, I'm not like I don't know like hundreds of musicals, but those are like some of my favorites I like. I find majority of musicals kind of cheesy, like Cats. There's like Cats, which that movie for one sucked. The movie sucked. But the musicals
CGI on buttholes. What the hell?
Yep.
I have a couple friends who actually liked it, and I'm like, are you okay? I mean, I don't care that they like it. That's their personal opinion, but I was just surprised.
Let's not forget The Hills Are Alive with The Sound of Music. Doe, Lucas.
Yeah, I love Sound of Music.
Ray, A Drop of Golden Sun.
Yep.
I like Christopher Plummer. And you know,
he says that he actually doesn't like The Sound of Music. He said that's the worst movie he's ever made in his opinion. I'm like, how does he not like it?
It's because his hills never came alive.
True. Yeah.
I mean, well, he's used to playing the bad guy. He was a great bad guy. You ever watch Dreamscape?
Yeah.
Dreamscape. He ruled. I mean, that movie rules. It's just weird. It's like Indiana Jones and Dreams.
Okay, well that's my pick. That was one. I'm probably gonna lose some subscribers who think I'm a poser.
Nah.
No.
Once again, dude, always be yourself. Don't worry about other people.
Yeah.
Be confident.
And wait, unless you're John's backdrop, then you want to be literally anything else.
You know what? I find peace.
Yeah.
A calming serenity.
I'm just waiting for like a loading symbol to pop up in the middle and start spinning.
When I recently had food poisoning, I looked to here for calmer times. All right.
And you looked at it and went, man, I gotta poop again.
Yeah, it was rough. And then I came back and hung out in the mountains. And somebody has goats.
Sorry, I'm talking to my stepdad right there.
Oh, right on. Hi, stepdad.
Yep. He's not like a person who tends to say hi to some people.
Right on. Well, we'll just say hi for you. Hi, stepdad. Hi. Cool.
Okay. Anyway, Mom, stop texting me. Okay. Anyway, Nick, what's your next one?
Well, it's one I definitely brought up before in terms of like my metal tag thing. Something that takes my taste in a different direction. That'd be Radiohead. You know, not metal at all. But I'm weird when it comes down to Radiohead. Like, I really wasn't a big fan of Pablo Honey, or honestly, like the Benz is still one that's on the fence. It was OK Computer and beyond that, and namely Kid A.
Yeah, Radiohead is one of those bands that got better as the more stuff they released. Like in their later career, they got better. Like I love OK Computer and Kid A, and even a Moon Shaped Pool that they released in 2016. I really dig that album actually. It's like soft and it's kind of like it's kind of like just like I don't know, chill out kind of music.
That's kind of the vibe. I mean, it's also kind of depressive too, which I don't know, like I liked In Rainbows. I thought that was really good too. Hail to the Thief is absolutely incredible. But yeah, it's definitely not metal, but I don't know. I think it's more heavy emotionally, I guess. That's kind of the thing. I mean, I know Tom York, that guy's had a pretty rough life. And it definitely comes out in his music. And I don't know, I just appreciate him. Plus, I also hear a lot of stuff that they do come into heavier music too, like the atmosphere and such. And I mean, when you listen to Everything in Its Right Place, the opening track on Kid A, that has such a cool synth wave thing. And believe me, synths are almost inescapable these days. We've kind of honed in on that love of like John Carpenter synths a lot here, but I'm not sick of it at all.
No, at all.
Yeah,
because the bands that have used it have done it so well.
I have jammed so much of Genghis Tron here lately. I can't stop jamming that album.
Yeah, I dig the hell out of that album too. I knew that was a winner when we first sat down with it.
I mean, I loved them already just for the unique weird thing that they were, but now they're just incredible songwriters in a different sense.
I mean, they always were incredible songwriters. It depends what your definition of incredible songwriting is.
Well, I mean, Dead Mountain Mouth was more mature than Cloak of Love, and then Board Up the House was incredible, but still not that accessible. This is, Dream Weapon is definitely accessible, and just different. It's just so damn good.
It's spread and it's accessible in many ways to many walks of life. Even if you don't like certain genres of music, you're gonna probably dig this record.
It's in the rhythms and the atmosphere, and I mean, I like dark synths. I love that shit. I can't get enough of that stuff. Like I have stuff from the guys that score Stranger Things, Survive. Those guys write some killer stuff outside of just that really killer theme. It's definitely, again, I don't know, it's a different kind of heavy. I consider it heavy, but definitely not metal heavy. It's just, I don't know, like creepy. Like I want to watch Friday the 13th right now, and this would be perfect in the background.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to Fossilization in the Dark.
I still gotta get that album.
Yes. Yep, that album. And one of their buddies just hit me up, so I'm gonna check that out. They've got
I think I saw them.
Okay, what's yours next? Oh, what's your next one, John? I stutter with my words all the time.
Well, here we'll stick with the heads, I guess. Portishead for me. I know that
Portishead.
We talked about Portishead, I think, on our metal tag videos. Dude, I always I first heard Portishead back in like, I don't know, 2002 or so, and just fell in love with them.
I'm not too familiar with Portishead, to be honest. Do you have any recommendations for me? Because I'm not
jam the album Dummy. That whole album from start to finish.
What style are they also like? I mean,
so they're kind of like trip hop.
Yep.
So
okay. And I'm into trip hop. Like there's some trip hop I like. So I mean that's good.
So imagine like just imagine like a lo-fi kind of trip hop thing, with a female vocalist, Beth Gibbons. Hell of
I love female vocalists too. So
yep. Yeah, dude, it's really, really, really good. It's trippy at times. It's really calming and relaxing though. The overall vibe. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of stuff, like
I like trip hop.
Do you like stuff like DJ Shadow?
I've never heard of him, but I do know there's one trip hop act I know, and I forget their name. I think their name is like, I forget their friggin' name, but I found out about them from another YouTuber, the Metal Jesus. I found out about them from him. And if you guys don't know the Metal Jesus, viewers out there, go definitely check them out.
For DJ Shadow, look up the album called Introducing, but it's Endtroducing, so END.
Okay.
Yep, but that too. But yeah, dude, Portishead. It's just one of my favorite lay back and chill, get elated jams. It's a good time. I'll never stop loving that stuff.
I'll definitely have to check it out. Okay, so my next one is going to be, I'm a huge fan of old progressive rock, especially from the 70s and even the early 80s. I love Rush.
Yes,
I love Rush, even though like their early stuff was more like gritty hard rock, and then they later became progressive rock, and then they kind of went back to that classic hard rock sound. I still consider them progressive rock.
Oh yeah.
But then I also love bands like for example, hold on, let me just. I know you don't like vinyl, Nick. But I got.
That's why I don't like it.
It's not that Nick doesn't like vinyl; it's that Nick doesn't need another habit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I love Pink Floyd. I got Dark Side of the Moon, and I got the on vinyl. Mm-hmm. I'm also a vinyl collector, but I mostly collect CDs because they're cheaper and smaller.
Yeah, I mean the storage space too, and storing vinyl. I mean it's precarious about temperature and.
Oh God, I have to keep them in a basket. And they're also fragile too because.
Yep. Every time you put the needle to them, you're damaging them ever so slightly. I
Yeah,
don't
It's
like
a
well,
metaphor for life.
Yep.
True.
Every time you put the needle.
Yeah. I'm also a huge fan of I'm a huge fan of Rush, Pink Floyd. I also love Vandergraaf Generator, King Crimson, even some Jethro Tull.
My name, I was almost named Ian after the front man from Jethro Tull because my mom is a giant Jethro Tull fan.
Oh, Ian
Anderson.
Ian Anderson, yeah, that's
Yep.
who it was. You know, it's funny about Jethro Tull. They have not released an album in almost 20 years. Their last studio album was a Christmas album. And since then, they have not released a single album. And I'm like, I know Ian Anderson, he owns a salmon farm and he's like really rich. He's like a millionaire, actually, because he owns a lot of salmon farms.
After a while, he kind of lost his passion for the music, I think, and he just wanted to do his own thing.
Yeah, and then plus he also did solo. He did a solo career too, which his solo career wasn't too bad.
My mom was huge on Yes, and I'm still huge on Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said not only in the last video, but you also said I want to say this too. Thank you guys for the shout out that you guys gave me on your shout outs YouTube video.
Not a problem,
right on, man.
And I love how you guys said that I quoted you guys, which is not which is not false. It's very true. And I'm gonna quote you again.
When Shred stepped down here, was like, dude, did I say that? I was like, yeah, man. He did his research.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't even have to do research. I just kept it all in my head. But you said that you bought your mom a Yes album, and it was like a deluxe version, and that she just played the hell out of it.
Oh yeah. Well, right now the thing that seems to be almost permanently in her CD player in the car is one of my favorites too is Prince's Purple Rain.
Oh, I gotta love Purple Rain.
Prince in general. Oh my God, dude, that bummed me out when he died.
I forgot that he died, to be honest.
My dove is still crying.
Dude, one of the singular most talented humans in
yes.
He played 26 instruments. That's insane.
He played 26?
26 different instruments.
I knew that he played guitar and a little bit of bass, but I never knew he played anything else.
Oh yeah, dude. He was a multi-instrument.
God, he was
I love multi-instrumentalists. I love a bunch of multi-instrumentalists like Buckethead. Even Phil Collins is a multi-instrumentalist.
Hey, bud.
She's yelling from the other room.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up?
Raven. Hey, guess what, Mom? We're not talking about metal today.
Bullshit.
We're talking about our favorite non-metal stuff.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, Jethro Tull, Pink Floyd, Rush, all that stuff.
You need to look up Return to Forever.
Wagon, Chicago.
She also said 38 Special.
38 Special's not bad.
I'm not the hugest fan of 38 Special, but they're good. I like our Speedwagon though, and whatever she said, Chicago.
We need to make a cover band called 39 Special.
39.
Or what? 39 kind of cool.
39. More
39
like 49.
Cool.
49. Minor 49ers special. Okay, anyway, other progressive rock bands I can think of, Zombies was kind of progressive. Zombies. And then there's some I know we're not supposed to talk about metal in this episode, but then there's some prog metal I like Dream Theater and even some Tool. But again, Dream Theater hasn't always been metal. They've had some very non-metal stuff, like The Astonishing, which I'm not big on, was not that metal. It was more kind of orchestral, progressive rock kind of.
Oh God, that was a long album.
My friend likes the album for some reason.
I've never made it to the second disc. I made it to the first disc. I've never made it to the second one. I was like, dude. Yep. And I blame Jordan Rudess. I think that was Jordan Rudess's little project, and everyone else was on the
But thankfully they made a comeback with
was it Distance Over Time?
Distance Over Time, yes. They made a big comeback with that.
It was a good one. That was a good album.
And it's the only Dream Theater album I own right now. But yeah, I don't really I do consider them progressive metal, but they're not fully progressive metal. Like they've had some like non-metal-ish albums, like which still like have some metal in them, but mainly they're like more progressive rock.
Yeah,
progressive metal.
With like prog metal, there's definitely genres of metal that border on rock. How's it going?
It's going good.
Hi.
Turn and wave. Don't be rude.
I did. I waved. I'm sorry. I was thinking of prog bands. Hi.
Doesn't he look like little Nicky?
My gosh.
Oh,
Has he ever
Yeah,
has he done any impressions for you guys? The kid can do some
Oh, my
impressions,
God.
man.
Kind of flash.
Yeah, all kinds. Not just little Nicky, but he's funny as shit.
Give me an 8-piece.
All right, we're gonna go eat.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
gonna agree without me.
Bye,
Enjoy
guys.
your meal.
Hey, no, we were gonna take Lucas out to eat, but he's so excited about being on with you guys. He said, "Just bring mine back."
ooh. Where were
That's
you
true.
going? Where were you taking him?
La Fiesta,
Ooh.
chicken on the beach. Yeah.
I mean, I can't really get into food too much. I just got over food poisoning, so I can't really think. Yeah, I can't really think too much about food just yet. But that sounds really nice.
You ever put your thumb over a garden hose? Well, that was him.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
dude, you have no
I've
idea.
heard that before.
I've never. There's man. My toilet was the MVP. I promise.
We got
Your
from
toilet is
you
penning a
to-
suicide note.
No man. Your butthole
was-
burns, a little bit of blood comes out. You
that
know, you
was-
don't want to
man.
take another shit because it hurts.
Yeah, that's where we were at yesterday. It was rough.
I got you.
Once I got to like the 17th or
Getting age
18th
restricted.
shit, I was like, we gotta stop. I gotta plug it
Oh.
up. I gotta go to bed.
That's funny.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
okay.
getting ready to send 4 of my employees over to India. And so I'm
Oh,
reading
nice.
all about India, and there's this thing called Delhi Belly. And I
Oh,
told them,
no.
do not eat off the side streets. You can't
Yeah,
drink the
no.
water. You
For
can't,
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Horrible idea.
because
Yeah,
what
I-
you just described is what will happen.
Here,
I already
take,
feel
here,
bad
take
for
this,
them.
Take this Death album and go listen to it for a change.
Oh, goodbye, guys. Have a nice
Get
night.
Elm.
bye.
Get Elm. She listened to it.
Get Elm.
Adventurous.
Well, that was interesting. Well, I'm gonna get age restricted, probably. Anyway, okay, that was interesting. Bye, Mom. Listen to some Death. You need it. Okay, okay. Anyway, that's it for my choice. Nick, what's your next one?
For non-metal. Actually, all right. I guess it's kind of along the same trip hop. It's electronic music. It is the Crystal Method.
Oh, I actually, I have, I think it was called Vegas or something like that.
Yep. That is,
I have Vegas.
believe their debut album. I have that one, but the main one that I always go back to is Tweekend.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I have that too. I think. Hold on, let me find it here. Where are you at? Crystal Method. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, I thought I had the other one, but no. Okay, but I do got Vegas.
Yep. Oh, I got that one too, dude. High Roller on that album, absolute banger.
Yep.
I love that album. I mean, all right, that one gets a lot of flack for being maybe way too similar to the Chemical Brothers, but
Oh yeah, and
Tweekend-
I have Chemical Brothers too as well.
Oh yeah,
I have a lot of different stuff. I have a lot of non-metal stuff, believe it or not.
oh dude, Tweekend is a ball. One of my favorite songs in
I
there.
don't know where it went.
Over the Line. Over the Line is one of those perfect like nighttime drive songs where you just, empty road, street lights, just cruise to it. If you can drive, right?
I don't got my license yet.
When you got your license,
You're good. You're not
you can
missing
do it.
Okay, I'm gonna sound dumb here. I failed my permit test twice. It's a little bit hard because most of them are multiple choice.
I mean, I failed my driving test twice before I got mine. So I mean, I get it. It
I have
happens.
one more chance. But then again, I mean, like I can always get it like once I'm out of high school. And it doesn't cost that much to take it. I think it costs like maybe 10, 20 bucks.
I didn't fail my driving test, but there's logic behind that. It was called I drove for many years with no driver's license, which you shouldn't do. Don't ever.
Oh,
do.
whoa.
But I drove
I
for
didn't.
like 3 years without my driver's license. So by the
You
time I
never
took my
you never got like pulled over?
nope.
You're lucky. You were very lucky, John.
Thank you. Don't ever do that. By the way,
Yeah, don't ever do
viewing
that.
audience, Lucas, everybody, don't do that.
I mean, I've done it before once, but then again, I was out in the country, so there were no cops in sight.
Yeah, I bet I didn't start driving until I got temps. So yeah, but I mean, dude, like, the judgy ass teachers or officers, whatever they're called. Yeah, no, they fucking just ruined me, man. They were nerve-wracking, just looking at me like, oh, you're doing this wrong. I was like, I haven't even touched anything yet. Am I doing everything wrong already?
Well, what's worse is that my driving teacher, who I had last year, not only is he a driving teacher, he's a coach, so he's also kind of a dick.
Oh, well, all right.
Now that my mom's not here, I can kind of be foul mouthed a little bit.
Well, you certainly rolled craps on a teacher there, then.
Yeah, but overall, he's a fun teacher. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. We just get sidetracked with a lot of stuff.
It happens.
It does.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, Crystal Method. I strongly recommend that one. I mean,
Vegas definitely.
Yeah, Vegas. Tweekend.
And Tweekend
is Legions of Boom isn't bad either. Actually, that one has John Garcia, formerly of Caius, on vocals on one track. And yeah, I love Caius, but I was gonna buy that one anyway, just because I liked the Crystal Method.
Oh yeah, that was a good choice. Actually, it's a really good choice.
Good job, Nick.
Good job.
I do is good.
Yes, get in the flask now.
It's on you now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was an awkward long pause.
Nah, we could do worse. You ready, everybody? Awkward long pause.
Oh, dude, I don't want to look at that.
Okay, I can't.
You already fucked it up. Good job. Good job,
man.
Nick.
Okay, anyway, John, what's your next pick?
The band Lettuce.
I've never heard of that band ever.
Okay, so they are, I guess what I would call kind of an instrumental funk band.
I was about to say they sound like a funk band.
Like take like Primus and Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then some old Temptations, and then just make it instrumental.
So basically just like kind of like making a mixture of funk, R&B, and like old school like music, pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. And they've got a ton of albums.
Oh, they sound like, I mean, for instrumentals are probably some of the easiest music to make, because songwriting can be pretty hard sometimes if you're going to like write like a hit song. But I mean, instrumentals, I mean, you can pretty much just like write the riffs, and it could be, and I'm not saying that it is always easier, but it depends on what style you're in.
Right. Well, Shred, and I don't know, so Shred Lord, and I don't know if you ever watched the Tommy. He was on Thralls in the very beginning. Yeah, so he and I, we were all in an instrumental kind of funk project, kind of a prog funk project together.
I thought you said fuck at first.
Pardon?
I thought you said fuck at first.
I might have.
Oh dear, that's
I always screw that up.
Yep. No, yeah, we were in an instrumental funk, not fuck, funk. Even though Shred and the Tommy are very close, it was a funk project.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, but dude, the Lettuce is such a good. Their drummer Adam is in a kind of a dubstep, kind of like a live drum dubstep band called Break Science. They're also entertaining. But yeah, if you've never heard of Lettuce, jam Lettuce, most notably jam. Hold on,
You're gonna play as a sample?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna tell you. The album Rage. That was the first one I ever heard, and then feel free to go through their discography. But yeah, Lettuce, badass,
definitely
badass group.
My next pick is kind of an odd one, but it's one I really like. I'm a fan of electronic music from the late 70s, at least up until the late 90s to the early 2000s. So I'm a huge fan of Jean-Michel Jarre, Depeche Mode, that we already mentioned. And this also includes like synth and all that too. And Daft Punk especially. I love Daft Punk. I will consider, if I was to do a top 30 favorite non-metal albums, I think probably Discovery or Human After All would be in that list. Because I love Discovery, and I also love Human After All. Human After All had a robot rock on it, which, I mean, people say that song's repetitive, and it can be, but it's not in a bad way. I mean, I love how they combine electronic music with rock, pretty much.
And there's an old school disco thing to them too.
Yeah, they have that too. They're very experimental. Like with their stuff. I mean, they've done more than just robot rock in the rock genre. Like they've done other like rockish songs. But mainly they're like electronic is what their like main sound is. But they recently broke up actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was sad,
a shocker.
Yeah, because they weren't like they were still doing good. They were still actually, what I'm gonna say, actually replace Human After All with Random Access Memories, actually. It's between Discovery or Random Access Memories. That would be my top 30 favorite non-metal albums.
I own Discovery and I own the Tron Legacy soundtrack, which they
I love Tron.
It's a great soundtrack. They did an amazing job with it, and even showed up in the movie too.
I love Tron, the Disney movie, but I love the 80s. I think it was a cartoon. I think. It could have been a live action movie.
It was live action and CGI. It was some of the earliest CGI.
I love that Tron too.
It was one of their early forays into PG rated territory. The first one being Disney's The Black Hole, which is definitely more obscure, but I love it.
The Black Hole. Oh, you mean the Black Cauldron?
No, the Black Hole.
Oh, I've never seen the Black Hole, but I've seen the Black Cauldron, which that one was pretty dark.
Well, the Black Hole was a live action sci-fi movie, and it was the first PG rated title to come out in Disney, and it was tabled multiple times, but finally came out in 1980 or 81. And
I've never seen Black Hole, but I have seen Black Cauldron though, and that one's probably the more famous one. But I'll have to check out Black Hole. I'm a huge Disney fan, so
it's different. It's a different kind of flick. It doesn't scream Disney at all, and it
doesn't have no Horned King either.
Its target audience was they wanted to actually get into the PG rated.
Well, isn't the early 80s? Isn't the early 80s whenever the PG rating came into effect, kind of? Because it was still like PG, man. It was still for kids, but some of the content may find children like being confused. Like the parents would be there. Parental guidance is what it stands for. We should do a whole video where we talk about movies, the MPAA, all that.
Well, PG-13 came out of the 80s too, because there were some intense scenes, and namely Poltergeist and Temple of Doom.
And then you got PG-13, which that was like shouldn't watch it if you're under 13. Then you got R, and then you got NC-17, and then you got X, which is for porn.
And even those last few ratings, I don't even really think exist anymore. They just pretty much just slap a mature rating in general, and then parents still buy it for their kids.
Here's the thing: I'm against censorship for some reason. Unless it's for like. I don't want like, if I was there ever have a kid, I don't want my kid seeing a dude's thing or a woman's boobs or something like that. But give a warning. Just make the screen fade and say warning, boobs or nudity. So then the parent can say,
warning, gonna be a ding dong. Oh,
just don't let it come out of the blue or something like that. Anyway, we're gonna
watch The Color of Night.
Again, we're getting sidetracked. Now we're talking about the MPAA and all the ratings. NC-17, which actually, before we go back to the subject, NC-17 is kind of is necessary for some movies like Showgirls. Is NC-17?
Dude, the first pressing of Orgasmo.
NC-17. But then there's movies that were not necessary for, like, their Evil Dead is NC-17 for some reason.
Well,
Sam Raimi, who also directed the Spider-Man trilogy, the original, he was getting obscenity charges for the Evil Dead.
Well,
I'm like, have you never seen? There was movies before that were more graphic.
Well, he did have some chick get raped to death by a vine.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. but then there's Showgirls kind of deserves the NC-17 rating.
It's no worse than like late night Skinamax, which it's whatever. You leave it rated R. It's just rated R for a different reason.
My teenage years were special.
I think, in my opinion, the MPAA is kind of useless. In my opinion, like if you don't want your kid to, it should really be up to the parents if they want their kid to see that. Like you should, same with music sales too. Parental advice adversary. I mean,
I
here's the thing,
remember
though.
before there were parental advisory stickers.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, okay, none of the Death albums have parental advisory. Never mind.
They
I
did.
don't think they ever did any cussing. I don't think.
Well,
But
no,
oh yeah, like Peace Cells here. Sorry about the glare. That has
Yeah.
parental adversary, and then Countdown to Extinction don't, and Dystopia don't. But I never understood like why I got a parental adversary. I know there was a cuss word, but I can't remember what song it was in.
I wonder how many.
I think it might have been Peace Cells. I don't know.
I wonder how
I
many
don't think.
albums I own with parental advisory stickers.
I
on
own
them.
quite a bit because I own quite a bit
Like-
of hip hop, and we all know that majority of hip hops are going to have that slapped on there.
I wonder what I
Yeah.
have directly in front of me that has parental
Yeah,
advisory.
and you know, no offense, but like, why couldn't they put a parental adversary on? No offense, leprosy. Why couldn't they put that on there? I mean, that's pretty brutal. Why couldn't they do it on spiritual healing, which has a dude about to be murdered?
No, he's being preyed upon.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, then
well,
I
I mean,
the
you could
knives.
say-
He might be murdered. Who knows? But then you got stuff like this, which isn't bloody. But then, I mean, look at it. You don't want your children seeing that and getting terrified.
Actually, my copy, because
I'm really just making jokes here. I'm not being serious
Oh.
at all.
Well, no, I mean, it's a weird thing because it's not super consistent. Like they'll slap it on there or slap a rating on there for one reason, but leave something alone for a completely different reason.
If it has one cuss word, they'll put like a parental adversary on there. I mean, if it's one cuss word, okay, if it's something like fuck, then I can understand them slapping the sticker on there. But if it's something like, you know, like hell or something like that, you know, I mean, hell can be used in many terms.
Yeah, many
Titties.
contexts.
Titties
Yeah.
with 2 Ds.
Yes. Overall, I'm okay. Anyway, let's get back onto the topic. We got sidetracked with the MPA and parental adversary and censorship. Filthy 15. There you go.
Now I want to say a bunch of swear words, but we're recording.
Oh, listen to
The
family.
wholesome family show.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, who's up next?
Who's on first?
I think. Oh wait, yeah. Did I just go?
I think you went. Yeah,
What was my pick? I forgot.
I don't
what my pick
remember.
was.
We got way off topic.
Oh wait, no. It was John because he mentioned lettuce. I think.
Lettuce. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, jam
so,
lettuce.
Okay. So then, what did I say? I could have sworn I went right after John. This is what happens whenever we get sidetracked. Okay. You know, I'll just go. I'll just go. Okay. I'm a huge fan of. Oh wait, no, I did go. I said Daft Punk and all that.
Okay. Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
So now it's Nick. Okay.
This one's a little bit more obscure, but it kind of lurks in a realm of interesting alternative music that I like. A band called Arstadir. They are Icelandic, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe because there's elements of just like alternative, kind of rock, but not necessarily. It's
Not
very
really though.
synth driven, but it's also kind of folky too. And it's almost kind of half and half. Sometimes the lyrics are in English, sometimes they're in Icelandic. And it's just a really, I don't know, very like emotional sort of listen. It's very moody, and I really enjoy this band. Their last album, Navalis, I was a big fan of. Short songs, that's my only complaint. But the songs are maybe a little too short, and I don't know, maybe that's also kind of a praise because I want them to keep going because they're so good.
Yeah.
But very sing-songy. I like the vocal harmonies. They're kind of breathy, you know, kind of like maybe like Maynard James Keenan a little bit, or like Chino Moreno from the Deftones. Just really interesting music, and it feels very heartfelt, and that's something I really connect to.
Kind of reminds me of like the acoustic Catatonia
Yeah,
stuff. The what is it, Dethroned and Uncrowned or something like that.
and they're on a metal label too. They're on Season of Mist, so I
Mhm.
mean, you know, there might have been people out there picking them up on accident. So like, well, it's
Well,
on Season of Mist. It's gonna be metal.
They were on my end of year, whatever year that
2018.
was. What?
2018.
18? Holy shit.
I know. It was back when we were only doing 25. Believe me, because I had one I was bringing up, I believe today in a video that could have been on my list for 2018, but we only had 25.
Wait, hold on. This is gonna be good right here.
What was it?
Just remember this. I'm gonna put you guys on my TV real quick.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna cast my laptop to my TV.
You're on my TV. My computer's attached to my TV. Look at this. We're Twinkies in a TV land.
Yep. Well,
Nick's gonna be the only loser not connected to a TV.
Yep. No.
It's a big screen. It's doing the best it can. Shut up.
Yes. Oh, yep. There you guys are on TV.
Hey.
Woo, I'm a
now we're bigger.
star.
Yep.
Real life.
Okay. Anyway,
my hand is huge. Oh
yeah.
no.
Forget the blue screen effect. Anyway, okay, is that all for you, Nick?
I mean,
that's that pick. I mean, for that pick.
For that pick, yeah. I mean, I just strongly recommend checking out that album, especially Navalis. That is the one by Arstadir. I'm not entirely sure that's how you pronounce it. It's Icelandic.
Yeah, right.
It has weird umlauts and slashes over the whole word, and it's confusing, but I love their music.
Nobody ever corrected us. If we're wrong, please get on a video somewhere and then pronounce it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, John, what's yours next one?
I don't know.
Okay, well, until you can think, I'll go. Until you can think.
Well, here, I'll get this out of the way, dude. Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
Love Alice in Chains. They are, in my opinion, okay, people say they're grunge. They are a little bit, but I kind of put them more because, I mean, Lane Staley's voice was a little bit grungy, but I consider them more like the more hard rock, a little bit metal, sludgier side kind of. Overall, not fully a grunge band. Like, they are way different from like Soundgarden, Nirvana, and Pearl Jam. Like, they are way different.
So I mean, it depends. I think on what album you touch on for Alice in Chains.
Yeah, Facelift is definitely more of like a harder kind of metalish album.
Dude, Jar of Flies is one of my favorite. Oh my god,
one of my favorite
Alice in Chains albums. Dude, that and the Unplugged, Alice in Chains Unplugged.
Oh god, yes, I love the Unplugged.
The version of Frogs that's on Unplugged is
fun fact.
Cables and a microphone.
Yeah, fun fact. Jar of Flies was the first EP to go #1. Actually,
it's still the highest selling EP of all time.
And it's a great, and I can see why. I mean, I love Nutshell. If I'm ever in a chill mood, I'll put on Nutshell as like, it's one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs, but I also love Rotten Apple, of course. And then, with Alice in Chains, they're mixed. I mean, if you listen to Facelift, that's more of the heavier album. But then if you listen to something like Dirt, that's more on the softer side, but still kind of heavy. I mean, personally, I don't know which one I'd go with. I'd probably go with Facelift a little bit more. But Dirt would easily be like on it easily.
Oh, it's gonna rain when I die.
Yeah,
I love Dirt. That would be another one of my favorite. Facelift, dude, and Dirt would be
one of the neighbors got a rooster. No joke.
I gotta love Rooster.
One of the neighbors got a rooster, and I heard it this morning doing its rooster thing. And why? I'm gonna find that neighbor. I'm gonna find you. Find you, your fucking rooster. Okay.
You're gonna go over there and grab his cock?
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, this could also be controversial too. What I'm about to say.
He's gonna edit that out.
I don't edit. I don't edit these. For one, I don't know how to. The only thing I can really do is put pictures on the screen, so that's about it. But I can't do like the cuts. I don't know. What editing software do you guys use? Because I'm thinking about using it.
Adobe Premiere. It pretty much.
Does it cost like a subscription?
It's like $20 a month.
Darn, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it because I mean the amount of work we do, it makes sense to actually.
Hey, maybe you guys should do how we make our videos, for you guys' channel.
I mean, well, Adobe's solid program. It's really easy to use, and I mean they're super good about tutorials too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is a package I got. Like if I just stripped it down, I'd be paying less. But this also allows me some other packages I can add on there to use for video editing.
Did you get all of them?
No. That was a little bit more expensive.
Dude, Miller's got it all, dude. There's killer stuff. If I could have, man.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, buy it all.
I want to give a shout out
and slap shit stuff together.
I want to give a shout out to Miller. Congrats to Miller. He's having a new kid on the way.
Yeah.
And yes. Congrats to Miller.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Miller. Miller, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but Miller, if you're watching.
What time is it? 8:13. He's more than likely on the road. I would bet he's not currently watching at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep.
But I wanted to bring that up since you mentioned Miller. And okay, anyway, back on the Alice in Chains subject. Okay, I'm gonna ask probably a question that most would find controversial about Alice in Chains. What are your thoughts on the singer that they've had for the past like a little bit over a decade, William Duvel?
I like him.
He's awesome.
I think
People either like him or they think he's trash. I think he's good.
I think he's great.
He's a good.
I think he's a good fit.
You know, actually, the reason I mention this is because Sea of Tranquility did a Alice in Chains ranking video, ranking the albums almost a year ago, and people were commenting on his video saying like you're disrespecting Lane Staley by talking highly about William DeVell, and he accidentally said Lane Staley's name wrong. Pete did. You guys are familiar with Sea of Tranquility, right?
I've seen a couple of his videos. He's a pretty popular one too.
Yeah, but anyway, so he accidentally said, I think he said Lane Stanley accidentally.
I used to say it.
But people were commenting, like people were being personal, saying about it. So to the point where he had to make a response video saying like how he was done with it and how he's just gonna just take the people off or whatever. And you know, at first he said that he just ignored comments like that, but he said like this was the last straw because people got personal. And I think as much as I love Alice in Chains, I hate the fact that some of their fans are dicks.
You're going to run into that almost regardless of some fans. Like, I mean,
but I mean, people hate it whenever you mispronounce Lane Staley's name wrong. People hate it whenever people hate it. Some people hate it whenever
people hate it when people wear black shirts. People hate it when people don't cut their fucking toenails. People hate it when people breathe air.
Yeah. People hate it. People hate it whenever people hate it whenever pop stars wear metal shirts.
Yeah.
For some reason, but I mean,
I like it. I like it. I don't care. I don't
people
give a
fuck.
People. I'd rather see Kim Kardashian wear a Morbid Angel shirt than whatever.
Yes, she did wear a Morbid Angel shirt. I saw that. And Kanye West was wearing a Cradle of Filth shirt. Now here's the thing: I would have expected them to wear shirts like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Metallica. I was expecting that, you know, but I wasn't expecting them to wear Cradle of Filth and Morbid Angel. I was not expecting that.
When she starts wearing metal shirts that are in the underground, I'll jump on board.
Yeah,
if we can get her in like a blood incantation shirt.
Get her in a macabre shirt, maybe.
Dude, yep. Yes.
Dude, I sometimes say macabre shirts today. I haven't even opened it yet.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, people just started commenting bad stuff on Sea of Tranquility's or Pete's video for Alice in Chain ranking, and in my opinion, I know that he hated doing the rant video. He calls them the rant video, but I knew that he hated doing it. But with Alice in Chains, it can get into heated arguments whenever it comes to Alice in Chains, and especially the new singer that they've had, William DeVoe. It can get into a heated argument with some people.
He's a great singer, and
he's a good guitarist too.
Yep, and I mean, my only knock against modern Alice in Chains with him is they don't let him sing on his own enough. It's almost always harmonized with Jerry, which granted that is a huge part of Alice in Chains sound.
Yeah, Jerry Cantrell has always been like he's been the main staple for
let the dude sing on his own occasionally because he's got a great voice.
Yeah, and again, I love all of Alice in Chains albums. They don't have a bad album, and they have albums. And I love like Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. That's my favorite DeVell album. But I love Rain or Fog, and I love the first album with him. It had the heart.
Black
Gives Away Blue. Yeah.
Great album.
Obviously, I mean, none of that, in my opinion, beats Lane Staley. Alice in Chains. Obviously, I love the first three. I have the first three on a CD. And anyway, Alice in Chains is great. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. It's a common thing I get.
No worries.
No, that's all right, dude. You know, and honestly, I mean, I wouldn't even have done the rant video or anything like that. You just greet them and say, hey, man, you feel that way about that thing. Cool.
Well, it wasn't just that, but they got personal. Like they were saying like personal stuff, like personal mean stuff, like not even having to do with Alice in Chains. Like some people were giving them death threats, I think. Like
so that doesn't even affect me either because I know they're just all talk, and you can't hurt my feelings. I don't have them.
Yes,
with me, I'm more sensitive. I'm more sensitive when it comes to me. Like
it'll pass.
I get kind of hurt pretty easily.
Well, I mean, you can't let that stuff get to you because I mean, you're going to run into comments on YouTube, and my thing is
people call us all sorts of shit.
Yeah, I explain my stance once and say, hey, listen, this is just a difference of opinion, and if they get snarky after that, then I troll them.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
really, really good at that.
Yep.
Haters gonna hate. There you go.
I will make them hate me more. In fact,
I mean,
haters
you guys,
are gonna hate.
You guys have haters. I've never really
hate.
seen haters on you guys' channel.
Hold on.
well, most of them are on the 6 feet under.
I'm just gonna
review.
shake.
People hated the 6 feet under review.
Oh, that's
Dude.
it's one of our most liked videos, and it's also one of
your most viewed too.
Well, here, hold on.
It's up with your top 5. It has like over 5,000 views. But I again, like I said last year, I love the thumbnail. This album friggin' sucks. I love that. And the album still sucks.
We're over 5,000 subs.
Oh yeah, and it finally corrected itself.
Yay!
Yep. And
we get called all sorts of names almost on a daily basis for our Tool review.
Oh, the Fear Inoculum review. That's like your guys' most popular video, I think.
Yep.
And again, Fear Inoculum. To be honest, I was like, maybe Tool is gonna release. Maybe it's gonna be good. I mean, they haven't released an album in over a decade, but I liked it. To be honest, I liked it.
It was all right.
It's too long. It's too long. There's no need for it being 85.
The one song on there, I forgot its name though. It was really popular. I think it won a Grammy too. It was 15 minutes long.
If it's the last track on it,
it had like a 7 in it. It had like a 7 in there or something like that.
Yep, I do like that song.
I think it's too long. Here's the thing. I'm not really a big fan of super long songs. Like, I mean, that's why I'm not a fan of Dope Smoker or something like that.
I mean, that's even extreme for
if a song is like over 10 minutes, then I'm like, okay, maybe it's like Echoes by Pink Floyd. It is a good song, but I think they kind of drag it on for too long with 23 minutes.
It depends on the band doing it. I mean,
if it was 23 minutes of just shredding, then I'll listen to it.
Well, I mean, your tastes are going to change over time too. You know, that's the main thing. Like, all right, like Between the Buried Me can write killer 15-minute songs.
Even like Mastodon, they've written some pretty long songs before, I think.
Yeah. But even on the completely different end of the spectrum, a band like Neurosis can write like giant 10, 15-minute songs, and they can be some of the heaviest, most bludgeoning stuff you've ever heard, but it's so drenched in atmosphere, like it becomes sort of an experience.
And the longest songs that you'll find, like songs that are longest, are usually coming from progressive bands. Usually, most of the time.
So I keep track of them. I keep track of the long ones. So when we go to places that have internet jukeboxes, we can control the music for the next 2 hours with like 7 songs.
play Dope Smoker for just 1 hour straight. Done.
One time Nick and I were out playing pool. We played Aborted.
Yep.
We played
Cannibal Corpse.
Yep.
I don't know. I think
Suffocation. We played a bunch of just like the heaviest stuff we could find. And they left it on until they didn't.
Yep. And there was a lot of like random bros looking at the jukebox like, dude, what's this, man? Dude, what happened to my Sublime song? I was gonna play Sublime next.
Oh man, I don't care if people don't like metal. I've met many people who don't like metal at all. But do you really gotta trash it? Do you really have to trash it just because you don't like it? And here's the thing, I don't like modern pop music. I think it's trash, but I don't go around saying, hey, you shouldn't listen to that. That's garbage. I don't go around saying that.
Well, people are entitled their opinions. They're gonna give you
exactly. If I'm ever out in public and there's a jukebox, like in my Pizza Hut, in my town pizza, there used to be a jukebox, and it wasn't a digital one, but I think it had like 10,000 songs that you could choose from. And like, you had to like press you would press like a different section. Like they had like 20 different genres, and that it would do this. It would flip around until it got to that genre, and each genre had at least 500 to 1,000 different songs. And I played, I believe, can't remember what I played. I think I played For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. A few people were in there jamming. There was this one chick who's like, what is this shit? I don't like it. And I was like, it's Metallica. And she's like, well, turn it off. I want some Britney Spears. And I'm like, I mean, that's you, but I don't like Britney Spears, so.
Oh, baby.
was like,
Oops, I did it. Yeah, oops, I did it again by listening to Britney Spears.
well,
Okay, anyway, again,
You know
sounds
what?
like a
I would have
story
looked her
about a
dead in the
shark.
eye. Look, next time you look her dead in the eye, and then you play Metallica 20 times, and every
oh, no,
time
this was years ago. I don't know what
every
happened.
time you put in another dollar, just say "Oops, I did it again," and just look at her until she leaves.
Oh, well, this was years ago, so I don't know what happened to this chick. I didn't even know her.
She committed grand larceny. She's
Probably. Anyway, whose turn is it now? This is what happens whenever we get sidetracked. We forget who went. Oh wait, no, John went with Alice in Chains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My next pick is I love Disney music. I'm a huge fan of Disney music, and I got an example right here. It is a
I
story.
can show you the world, Lucas. Shining,
I have
shimmering splendor.
I have a picture of this. It's Mickey's Christmas Carol, and it's basically an audio version of the movie. It has all the dialogue, has all the songs, but it's in a vinyl form.
Dude, I have that vinyl as well. It's at my parents' house, but I have that vinyl.
But it's a pictures, and I love it. I on Christmas Day, whenever I opened all my gifts and I went to my grandma's house and had dinner and all that, or lunch, I came back home. I popped this on, and it's not that long. It's only like an hour long for. It's only like 30 minutes on each side, but it's fun. I mean, I just love it. It's just an audio version of the movie with all the lines and all that. And I'm a huge fan of Disney. I love like Bippity Poppity Boop and all that. I love Disney music. Come along, and I love the Mickey Mouse Club theme song too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up on Disney movies. I still watch Disney cartoons.
I'm not the biggest
the
fan.
Great
of
Mouse Detective and I are still close.
I need to bounce up for just a moment. I'll be back in like a few minutes.
Yep. I mean, I've seen The Lion King more times than I care to comment on.
Yeah, Lion King.
I have a little sister. I mean, she's not little anymore, but I have a little sister. And she watched all the Disney movies growing up, and so I know all the Little Mermaid lyrics, and yep.
I love I'm not like the hugest fan of modern day Disney. Like there was like The Good Dinosaur. I wasn't really that thrilled on. Then
He
there
was a good dinosaur though.
Yeah,
not as good as Elliot from Pete's Dragon.
Yep, exactly. But then there was people loved Coco. I wasn't super big on Coco. But then there was Soul, which came out last year, and that's like one of Pixar's best movies to date. I mean, it's got a lot of soul to it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I'm not going to tell you like what happens. But I will say it's about like this music teacher, and he wants to be like a aspiring jazz musician, and he falls through a hole, and he has like this vision like he's dead, and pretty much all that. But then he meets like this like other soul who was never a human being. And then their bodies get mixed up in a cat and himself body. But it's a pretty interesting movie. If you guys have like Disney Plus, just go watch it. It's amazing.
Right on. I have Disney Plus. I'll have to go check it out. I haven't seen any Pixar movies since Toy Story 2. I think that was or Up. I saw Up. In fact, I cried at the end of Up.
You know, I want to go on to this topic too. Well, now I again, like especially movie critics, they have their opinions, but there's Armin White. Armin White, in my opinion, is the worst movie critic. He has crapped on good movies like Up, Brokeback Mountain, The Dark Knight. He said Jack and Jill was a good movie, in which that movie was awful, in my opinion.
People are entitled to
again, people are entitled to their own opinions, but I mean, like he said that he literally crapped on The Dark Knight. I mean, he said, I mean, like, I don't know, like, what's not there like about it. It's got great action. I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever made, but
who's this guy? Who's the guy?
His name is Armin White.
Armin White.
He's been named the worst movie critic of all time, and I can see that.
Maybe that's his shtick, though, because even bad publicity is publicity.
I mean, at first I thought it was publicity, and he was saying it, but in an interview, he was like dead serious. Like he wasn't laughing about none of it. He was like dead serious. He's like, I did not like Up at all. And I was like, okay, this dude's being pretty darn serious.
Well, he doesn't have a heart. Then you gotta have a big heart to.
How can you not cry at an old couple, and then the wife dies, and then pretty much they can't go on their adventure to paradise or paradise. Yep. Paradise Falls, I think, is what it was.
Yep.
I think a really big staple for me that I always stuck with was the dogs, the talking dogs. Mm-hmm. Not just Doug, but all of them. because I love whenever they go squirrel and they look. I've always stuck with that because me and my mom always quote that. We're like squirrel, and I've always loved that. But overall, I mean, it's a fun movie, and I mean, there's the giant bird. That's like kind of like the main plot of the movie. Like Carl's childhood hero wants to get the bones of this bird because it's like a rare bird. And then basically Carl and Russell, that little Boy Scout, one of Charles, and his name was Charles, one of Charles' dogs, talking dogs, and then the bird, they all try to stop him, and they do. And it's a fun Pixar movie.
Yep.
But
outside of that, though, I haven't seen much Pixar.
Well, I mean, there was always The Incredibles. The Incredibles is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies in general.
Incredibles and what Big Hero 6. That was a good one too.
That wasn't Pixar. People hated
DreamWorks.
No, it was Disney.
Was it?
Yeah, it just wasn't Pixar. But it was Disney. But people did not like Big Hero 6. I personally loved it. I saw it in theaters whenever it came out. And at the time in theaters, I was 9 years old, I think. It was in 2014, so I was 9. I'm 16 now. But it was just a really fun movie that I enjoyed.
How old was I in 2014? I was
old.
If you're you're like 39 or 40 right now, right?
No, sheesh, yeah, 39. I haven't hit 40 yet. I'm not like Nick.
Nick here. He is the wonderful age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's totally right. 20.
Yeah. No. He's 80. I'm kidding.
You better hope he's not 20 because you don't want.
See, I look like I have less gray hair now because I shaved out the sides.
Yeah, it looks like I don't have any at all.
No, it looks like, well, right here. If you grew it out, you would look like a mad scientist.
You're old and colorblind.
So. No, because the sides of your head are white. You've surpassed gray. You've moved directly to white.
Well, Nick, you're the same age as my stepdad. You're 43. You're 43, right?
No, 42.
42. Okay. My stepdad.
I mean, he might as well be 43.
Never mind. My stepdad's 44. Never mind. Then my mom's 46.
Well, I mean, Noonan looks like he's 56.
And then I'm 21. Clearly,
I'm young, and look at this.
No, I'm only 16.
Chiseled face.
Yep. Anyway, while you were gone, Nick, me and John talked about Pixar movies for some reason.
Oh well, I mean, that's a big part of Disney anyway. I think honestly, it grosses more than the actual traditional animated movies now because they
it depends. I mean, because then you also got DreamWorks, but DreamWorks hasn't made like a really highest grossing box office movie since like Shrek 2, because Shrek 2 is their most popular movie.
What about Horton Hears a Who?
Horton Hears a Who only made like 300 million at the box office. Shrek 2 though, the second Shrek movie, that made $920 million. So, and Shrek is
love. Shrek is life.
No.
I reacted to that on my channel for the first time like a couple months ago, and my friends at school who watch my videos kept saying Shrek is love, Shrek is life. I also reacted to the Trump one too. Trump begins to fill my wallet with $500,000. And then he says, "You're fired."
Half roll of quarters.
There's a Trump one. Oh, dude.
There's a Trump one. You know.
I wonder if Shred knows this.
Shred definitely knows Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Well, I know he does.
Knows it,
but I don't know if he knows about the Trump one.
You know, it'd be funny.
My entire life without knowing that existed until
Shred was the one that showed me Shrek is love. Shrek.
Me and Shred should do like a video together, like just a solo video with just me and him. That'd be hilarious.
I don't know if you're ready for that.
You're not.
I don't know
if the world's ready for that.
I have dark humor. My humor is very like his, dark and inappropriate and all that. Like, trust me, I don't say some of the stuff because if people are uncomfortable with some of the stuff I say, I don't say it. But if people are okay with it, I go flat out. Like, I have some videos that I never uploaded because of how vulgar they are or just how bad they are.
I mean, I try to make my references very quick, and if they catch them, well, they catch them. If they don't, they don't. As long as the YouTube algorithm doesn't catch them, that's the important part.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and then plus you got to be careful what you say because YouTube, you know, they can easily demonetize or age restrict you.
Oh, I mean, well, ours is, you know, we don't upload anything that's like for kids or anything like that. Like we specifically say, no, this is adult humor. I mean, hell,
Do you guys profit off your videos, or do you guys not profit off your videos?
Oh, we profit. We have ad
that's
revenue left and right.
I wish I had. Well, you got to get 10,000 views before you're eligible for monetization.
And
unfortunately, I'm only at 62 subscribers because some people don't like my content.
Well, you just keep plugging. You just keep plugging away at it. I mean, what we did. I mean, well, we forced ourselves upon YouTube by just uploading constantly.
Your first video was Death's albums, right?
Yep. And I mean, it didn't get a tremendous amount of views, but we just
no offense, the audio was bad on that video.
It's terrible.
No
we didn't know what we were doing.
I mean, I've had worse audio. I've had audio that I don't use a mic. I use my standard desktop audio. And some of the reaction videos I've made, it's either echoey or it's just like muffled.
Yeah. Well, luckily Miller showed us some tricks to use in Adobe in terms of getting the audio better. I mean,
hey, shout out to Millard. Another shout out to Millard for that.
For this.
Yep, I have a mic too.
This, yeah.
I wish I had a mic.
Well, actually, I mean, you can find these on on Amazon for $20. They're
okay, then that's a deal right there. Anyway,
take it from the Beastie Boys. Pass the mic.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back on the subject. So, I don't think I got really much anything else really.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was actually a pretty good talk anyway. I mean, we covered a lot of interesting non-metal stuff.
And then we went into some movies, and we talked about MPAA. Then we talked about Pixar. We floated off the boat several times.
So pretty much welcome to hanging out with Nick and I when we don't talk about metal.
Yeah,
it's pretty much.
Hey, we can do some non-metal video sometime. I mean, we could do a video. Or just non-music in general. We could do a video talking about different horror movies. The most grotesque, like Cannibal Holocaust or something like that.
Oh Jesus, that's still a difficult.
Or Dead Alive. Dead Alive.
Dead Alive rules.
I love that. Dead Alive is not only gory, it's also gross. Like whenever she pops the pimple into the pudding, she goes, and they like, wing. It just pops into the pudding. I gagged.
But it's also hilarious too. I mean, when
at the end, whenever the dude's guts are just coming alive, his guts are coming alive, and and then there's one moment where I did this was whenever the rat's head got squished by that lady. I went, oh.
You know who directed that movie, right?
It was Peter Jackson, who also did the King Kong remake and the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yep.
And who also made kids movies. As kids in the future know, hey, Peter Jackson, same dude who made Tintin, for example, made Dead Alive, where a rat's head gets squished and where a woman pops a pimple into pudding.
Oh yeah, it's a trilogy actually. Dead Alive was the last one, and there was also Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, well, other places it's called Brain Dead, but I think I prefer Dead Alive more.
Meet the Feebles.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
You can't forget about the lawnmower scene either. You can't forget about the lawnmower scene.
Dude, there used to be a version that was synced up to a song by Gamma Bomb that was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, they just synced up the whole lawnmower.
You know what's cool about Dead Alive? If you look at the opening of Dead Alive, it says on Skull Island, which is where King Kong's from, for one. So Peter Jackson was like, I'm already going to make King Kong in the future, so...
Actually, I was just reading up about that in terms of that 1976 Dino De Laurentiis one. There was a huge lawsuit about it in terms of who had the rights to it, and Dino De Laurentiis won because he wanted to produce it, but so did Universal. Then after Universal lost in 2005, they finally did their version of Kong with Peter Jackson. Yeah. But it was also courtesy of that case. King Kong's backstory was dubbed public domain.
Yeah,
since that in terms of a literary work, it had passed a certain amount of time in terms of like it not being published under anyone else. But it was pretty much deemed public domain, and up until I think Legendary pretty much owns all of it now. Yeah, because and if you haven't watched Godzilla vs. King Kong, watch that shit because it's awesome.
I want to see it in theaters. Miller went and saw it in theaters. I think I'm gonna wait and go see it in theaters.
Last thing I'm gonna say before we end the video here, guys. This weekend I'm thinking about going to see Mortal Kombat, the movie.
I'm debating.
Here's the thing. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've played every single game in the main series, which is 18, including the crossover ones like versus Universe.
You're up to 18 now? The last one I legit played was 3.
Oh no, I played 10. I have 10. I just haven't played it forever. But it doesn't matter because I always play Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero's my dude.
Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Make sure. I hope you guys liked it. Like, subscribe. Go over to Thralls and Metal. I'll link their channel, and I'll also link their most recent video.
And subscribe to Lucas too.
Yeah.
Who cares about Thralls and Metal? Subscribe to Lucas.
Those guys are losers.
You're right.
But also subscribe to them too.
Cramming John and Necrotic Nitwit.
Necrotic Nun.
Yes. and Shredboard.
Yeah.
And Kim.
Yeah. Kim. I think his name's Kim, right?
Kim.
And Killer and Killer. And Killer too. You can't forget about Killer. That's Miller's nickname.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the video, guys. See you guys next time. Peace out.
Cheers.